All right.
I'd like to open this meeting of the Bisbee Arts Commission on Monday, September 9th, 2024 at 5:30. Oh, the clock's working again. First things first, roll call.
Jenny Druckman.
Here.
Kurt Hauser.
Here.
Janet Reynolds.
Here.
David Miller.
Here.
Karen Schumacher.
Here.
Tracy Taylor is excused. Richard Ward.
Here.
Leslie Johns.
Here.
Nina Williams here.
Tracy's returning to us.
Yes. She should be here for the October meeting.
There's no call to the public this evening, so we'll go ahead and move to item 1, approval of the minutes of the August 5th, 2024 meeting. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve the minutes of the August 5th, 2024 meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All ayes?
Aye.
Any nays? No, we can get that off our agenda. Item 2, we have a grant application this evening. Discussion and possible approval of the grant application from Heather Bouton for Printing is Fun. I should like that title. In the amount of $134,3534. Did you guys have a chance to review that grant application?
Yes.
Normally, we ask the person who's applying for a grant to be here.
But I made a mistake.
And so that's not on Heather. Do you guys have any, I know she told me about this. She asked me some questions about how to do a grant application. So if you guys have any questions, I might be able to answer them. I think the general idea right now is that Central School has really ramped up through using their printing studio. You could take an introductory class and then you could go use it on certain days, so you get permission. And she, as far as my understanding, she just wanted some fine paper for the community to use. I think that's the general gist of it.
And they're out of paper.
They're out of paper, yeah. And they need paper, and there's a bunch of different people using the paper, right? So, does anybody have any questions about that? I was surprised that she didn't want more money. She was like, that's all we need. She's always refreshing. Sorry, any questions? Anybody?
No, I think it sounds great.
I do recommend usually though you ask the person, because they're usually more complicated, the grant applications, than just somebody asking for paper. But this is,
Pretty straightforward.
yeah, this is really straightforward.
There's etching too.
Oh, did she ask for that too? I thought she was asking for paper. $135.34. She was very nervous about filling out this grant application, which is fine. I know she did fine. So that's one of the reasons why it's pretty simple compared to some of the grant applications out there, because we try to get people used to the idea of just filling it out and then moving on to like the stage or something. It's a lot more complicated. Any thoughts?
It's straightforward and good to me.
And then do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the grant application of Heather Bouton for $135.34.
Perfect. A second?
A second.
All ayes?
Aye.
Any nays? That was easy, wasn't it? Normally there's, if it's like a whole event or something that's complicated, there are some rules on there, like we don't pay for food or things, or like, you can see from the grant application, there's a few things we do not do, but, then we'll go to item 3, update on Camp Naco. Our Camp Naco lady, Janet Reynolds.
Yeah, we had a meeting, my first meeting with them today at 1 o'clock. It was great. What a dynamic group of people that have wonderful ideas that they are putting into place. During the course of the meeting, they were gathering information and trying to get a take on the directions that people wanted to go, but there are already things in place. They're going to approach Central School right now for 2 positions for plein air painters to come in and to stay at Camp Naco and to do buildings and landscape out there and to make public presentations. And they said that they just wanted to start real slowly, one step at a time. It will move into 4 and 5 and 6 places for workshops out there, and it's including music, theater, for long and short kinds of workshops, visual arts. they're doing pottery, there's just a whole plethora of things that are gonna be embarked on. But this is just the beginning, and the people that are involved have lots of knowledge of rolling these programs out. And I feel very, very good, very confident with what's coming forward. And they are very interested in binational collaborations, so, yay.
So as of right now, is there any way we can assist you, or are you just waiting? Because I know they weren't quite ready to take a step on something.
It's launching,
Okay.
but I will definitely have some things to bring to you over the course of the next months.
Do they meet once a month or how?
Once a month, and then also Zoom kind of in between. Yeah.
Do they know about the concert without borders?
They do know about it, but it's, the timing wasn't right for this year.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
for them to come see it, or, you know.
Oh, I
check
see,
it out,
an
or-
invitation.
Yeah, yeah.
thing. I will make sure, I'll get that to them.
Yeah, please, it's September 28th, so it's coming up like 3 weeks.
I'll be happy to do that.
Are they local, or mostly local?
Mostly local.
It's the board that, you know, they probably might be acquainted with that concert. Anyway, it's great.
Any questions? So as of right now, Jalen is our liaison to the Camp Naco project, so if anybody has any questions about it, but we're so thankful that you're going and participating.
It was great.
Oh, good. It's a lot better than awful.
Yes, it was not awful at all,
No.
not remotely.
No, that's wonderful. Any questions about that? All right, I'm going to move along. There's some bigger ones coming. Item 4, discussion regarding public art project, including Commissioners' 5 to 10 examples of important Bisbee public art and brochure options. We had talked about making a brochure about some public art. And I have your beautiful one that you did for your previous city. We were talking about doing a brochure, and so I asked everybody to kind of come up with a few examples of things that they thought would be important to put in something. We still had not decided if we were going to do Old Bisbee, Warren individually. The brochure is not huge, so it depends on what kind of route you guys want to take. But did you have anything you wanted to say? Did you
I
think-
brought in, I saw there were some examples.
Oh, cool.
But I brought some also.
I wrote mine down, so.
Yeah.
But I want you guys to think about, how do you want to, if we want to divvy it up into different neighborhoods? I mean, or we can make a bigger thing. The bigger thing that we make, the more expensive it is. So it just depends on what kind of reach we want. But the idea is having some sort of walking or driving tour of some really important public art. With that said, did anybody have come up with some examples? I know that somebody included theirs. Is this is this yours
I
here?
didn't know.
Okay. So yours?
I would like to speak to this, because
Please.
in the going out and trying to find examples, I found that there's over 30 in Warren itself.
That's a lot.
And so I took a picture of some that were all in an area, thinking that what we might do is do a walking tour of Arizona Street, a walking tour of that kind of a thing, brochure-wise.
Yeah.
And I also found, I didn't do any more than this, because I wanted to see what the constraints were on what you want as an image. And it'll have to be captured like either early in the morning or as soon, after sun's down, to get good imagery, and also to have the parking cleared so you can get good pictures. So that's what I discovered.
Yeah, and in my other thing I discovered, I just put down some about an old Bisbee. And the few things I thought that were pertinent that I discovered was that most of them are on private property, which means we need the permission of the person, and probably some disclaimer that says don't harass them, And then I didn't actually know the names of all of them. I just called them what I called them, so that it might involve a little bit of research. And then there was a question about, I don't know if we really can advertise the graffiti wall because it's such a notorious thing. I don't know. I mean, we could.
Yeah,
I mean, I have no problem personally with doing it.
There's also the skate park too, which ties in.
Skate park's
with it.
great,
Yeah.
so yeah, the next move is sort of deciding how we're going to divide up the work, divide up the different neighborhoods. Like Arizona Street's great. I wonder if there's enough to do, could we put it all in Warren, or there's just way too much in Warren?
No, there's not way too much in Warren. It would be Arizona Street and then the little side streets that are off of there also have. But it's all very, very walkable in that. There could be one walkable one and then it's just a catalog of Warren. But have the map itself be of that area in Warren.
And then there's also there's some of different size, like those.
Right.
Which are, I love those.
Yeah.
But deciding on what we're going to include or what, how are we going to divide it up? I'm not sure. You know, some are obvious, peace wall, I don't even know where that is. Where's this one?
Skate park.
That's skateboard. The good Lowell one. Lowell's got a few, they took some down. There's a lot of muck rock, we can't
Yeah.
load it up with muck rock, right? But some of these are pretty, I didn't even know that one existed. Pablo Pencil.
Right, that's, I forget what that was at. That's a house. So,
Yeah, that's some-
right,
yeah.
that was another tough part, because there's so many houses. that
There's
it's-
another string of his on Clausen going up
Oh, that one's a
towards
good
the
one.
high school.
Oh, right. That one's a good one too. And then we have the smaller ones that are awesome. And then this one that is, they took some of these down.
Yeah, most of them,
Most of the-
yeah.
So, how many murals or how many pieces of public work do you think there probably are? 150? 250? How do we do the hard work of deciding what to include and what not to include?
I think it's tough too, because it is so spread out as well. So I would think maybe, I know on the post office, that group has a lot that are kind of Bisbee specific.
A lot of them are
So-
Jane Perry too, right?
Right, so, I mean, we could go really Bisbee specific and streetscapes, and then kind of just get more in the wording of the brochure. This is kind of where you should be looking.
So do like a walking tour, like, so lead to areas versus like specific,
Versus specific art.
yeah, because there's just so many.
So much, right.
I wonder if we could do QR codes.
On buildings and things?
Yeah, just affix a QR code. You know, I mean, it would have to be with permission to the side of them to where people could find out about that particular mural.
That's an interesting idea too. I don't know, I think there's something, I mean, if I were interested in art, which hopefully I am, and I was visiting Bisbee, you know, I think that would be an amazing thing to have someone be able to, people are constantly asking me where the outdoor art gallery wall is, or this, or that, or the angels. But yeah, I think maybe the idea of different, like, pushing people to streets makes sense more than, I mean, we can have images.
Mhm.
How nice to get them out of Old Bisbee also, to have, a lot of people don't go into Warren, or go into, well, they go into Lowell because they go to the Bisbee Breakfast Club. There are lots of folks that don't make it to other parts of town because of that.
But maybe we should have two. Should we have two different brochures or just one to start off with?
We just start with one, see how,
See if we can,
Popular
see if we can
it
add, we
is.
can put as much in there.
Right.
It's gonna be dense,
yeah.
but that's not necessarily a bad
Bad
thing,
thing,
as
right.
long as it's readable. Well, so the progression now would be, okay, so is anybody interested in formatting this or working with how would we, or we could hire somebody to format it? What do you guys think about that?
As far as laying out the brochure.
And it's not, that doesn't have to rely on a commissioner to do that work. We can hire someone to do that outside of the commission, or if somebody was like, this is the project I'm dying for, you're welcome to do it too, you know? But we do need everyone to, I mean, we're gonna have a lot of images of all the different things. All these pictures look great.
And we want to archive them anyway, at the very minimum.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, the next movement would be to probably start a Google Doc and start putting them in, right? Is that, I mean, does that make sense?
Yeah.
And start, because I started putting the addresses down, some of them are actually kind of questionable. And then we need to, I don't know the law here. If we include a photo of someone's art that's at their house, we should probably ask permission, even if it's visible from the street.
I asked every person, every photograph I took, I asked them if I could take it.
I just mean for the brochure especially, I think.
I will check with the attorney. I'm
So I don't wanna
assuming that
make-
we would want to make sure that it was okay for them to be in the brochure.
I mean, I assume you put a giant mural in your house, you're not like, don't look at it, but
No, but
you don't necessarily want people directed to your house.
Correct.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because then there'll be crowds outside your house. You might not have wanted
I would
that.
definitely ask.
That's true. So I can start a Google Doc, and then we can add to it and see if we can get, and then we can put the pictures in there too.
Mhm.
Can someone send me the file? Do you guys have the files of these?
I've got a jump drive, if you want to take it with you.
Yeah, that'd be perfect too. And we can just start putting them all together. Like, things like, well, this address, I was on Google Street View trying to figure out some of these addresses, like the art gallery
Mhm.
walk. I'm like, I don't know what that actually
Right.
think that is a road name.
Is it?
I think so. It's one of those weird ones that's actually considered a road, or it was once, this town. And then, put a question mark next to we'll put a question mark next to the things we do not know the names of. Because even like the angels, I don't know what those are really called. They probably have a different name. Bindale has a name for them, no doubt.
we also need to think about, Karen, I don't think this is one of the things that we budgeted for. So we'll need to look at,
It was gonna take a little while anyway to.
well, that's what I was hoping you were gonna say, but I was just gonna say we need to look at that, either having a sponsor or, what we're not going to do in order to pay for that, if you do it this year.
Yeah, we like, you don't want your mural in this, you can pay. No, I'm kidding. Extortion. I'm totally joking. And I looked up some prices, basic prices, what it was like, I mean, if we just did a trial run of 250 brochures, for instance, it'd be 183.
Yeah, but I'm saying if we hire somebody
If we hire
that,
somebody.
that would be more money. That's what I'm saying. The brochures would probably could come out of the money that we have budgeted now.
Yeah.
But if we hired somebody, that might not be able to be paid for out of what we have in the budget.
So it's gonna be a research anyway. Part of the reason why we wanted to do the brochure is exactly what Janet said. We want to have a record of them all. I mean, it's not important until somebody unfortunately says that's important, we need to remember that, So it will take a while. We could also,
Okay.
we could get some money.
Well, I assumed I just
Yeah.
wanted you to be aware.
No,
Like, if you were
that's-
gonna do it this year, we might need to look at other
No.
ways to fund part of that.
Is anybody dying to format? Or no?
I mean,
I mean,
as long
yeah,
as long as content is provided, I don't mind doing the layout.
you wouldn't mind trying?
I
And
mean,
if you
yeah.
decide that it's too much for you, then we'll hire somebody.
Yeah,
I just don't want anybody to feel overwhelmed,
Sure. I think for me, as long, like, actually gathering the content and information would be a lot, because I'm not in town. But, like, I mean, I've been a professional graphic designer for 20 years, so I can probably handle a brochure.
Yeah. Maps are hard, because we don't know, but,
Yeah.
yeah, and then your interests lie in capturing them, right?
Right.
So you want
Just
to,
the picture whole thing,
So,
right?
yeah, as long as we, get a Google Drive or
so
whatever.
let's start a doc, and let's just start adding them to it. We're gonna have like 5,000 before you know.
Oh, yeah.
So is that sound cool if we all work together and start, I can create one of those really quickly. We'll just start putting those in there. But if you are unsure about something, make sure that you highlight it or write a question mark. That's one thing that gets hinky. Does that make sense?
Pinky, yeah.
Hinky. I like that. Is that a simple word?
It is here.
Okay. It gets hinky. Because, yeah, for instance, another one, the Rose Johnson minor mural, does it have a name? I think it does.
Bill would
I know Bill would have known.
know. I thought it was the miners, but.
I always call it the Circle K mural.
And it
I don't think
might
that's
also
what
be, wasn't there a year on it?
there is a year.
Yeah, I don't know.
We make those prints. It probably is on there.
That's on there.
Or the outdoor art gallery, and that's owned by some, that's private property too. So we are gonna have to go to I'll make 4 little spots for now and put it if it's private or public, because that's gonna be something that we really have to consider.
Right.
Graffiti wall, is that, or not the graffiti wall, peace wall, is that the city of Bisbee? See, that's what, I was like, oh, no.
I don't know.
Good questions.
Yeah, it brings up a lot of questions. Does anybody else have a lot of questions, or one question?
Does everybody have a lot of questions?
Does that make sense? I think that's the way to go forward.
Yeah.
One of the most confusing things with a committee or council or group is that trying to figure out a way forward with all of us, you know? So if anybody comes up with a great idea in the middle of the night, let me know.
I would
But
say
morning.
just getting a doc started that outlines what do we want for each of these, whether it's, name, location, address, like if there's a little write-up or if not, that kind of stuff. And just keeping everything really consistent, formatted.
I agree. I think that's why I just started doing it myself with these, and it made me, I realized it's always more work than easiest one to do,
Yeah.
you know? Well then, that will be my next move on that, unless anybody has any other ideas, okay? You want your pictures back? You want to,
No.
or keep them?
Yeah,
They're beautiful. I love this. This is one of my favorites.
yeah, it's a little that one.
Do we know who made it?
Artists in Vegas.
Oh, cool. You like my buddy.
No.
Some of them are obviously anonymous, you know? And then some of it is graffiti. I'm not going to get into that discussion.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's a big discussion.
We're going to call it all art. Oh, cool. So that's a good way to move forward. So yeah, the brochures are not a concern, the price. So we'll give it a try and see how it goes. Okay. All right, then I'm going to move along to Kurt's favorite agenda item. Item 5, discussion regarding New Year's Eve, including a preliminary budget, city park permit protocols, and synopsis of event. I wrote that on there for you.
Okay.
You have been brainstorming, so I'm going to hand it over to you.
Right on.
So make sure you,
Oh, yeah. I've been brainstorming about this New Year's event, and what I'm thinking about is having like a performance or an event at City Park that would maybe last the day with different performance, like Bisbee performers, but plus maybe bring some people in. It would be cool to have some kind of finale event. I know that they used to do the balloon thing, but I think that that's probably really expensive to do something like that. But it's cool to have like a really spectacular event to finish it, you know. So I was thinking of other possibilities. I was thinking about a hot air balloon, but I also going down there and looking at it, I don't know if that's possible down there, you know, because they're big. They're bigger than the helium balloon situation, and I don't know. So I'd have to get. I know someone with a helium balloon, with a hot air balloon, who would probably come out and do it, but I don't know if it would be possible. But anyway, so my idea is that for an event for that, possibly close the gulch off for, you know, to have a street kind of fair thing happening, and then you know, depending on the budget and stuff, maybe bringing some art cars, because I was thinking about maybe including Art Car World and then bringing some Burning, because I know a lot of people with some of the best Burning Man art cars, and I can get them to come. It'll take money, you know, because they won't. It's expensive to bring that stuff. But those are my thoughts so far on.
Well, I just want to clarify two things for those of you that weren't here last time, is that we are not talking about this New Year's.
Oh yeah.
We are talking about next New Year's. So
Oh, good.
Okay. Because it takes a little time to plan
there's no
some
way.
things. And then also for those that are unfamiliar, New Year's in Bisbee was a really important event for a long time. And so there has been much talk over the last few years of trying to resurrect something, and something more creative than, you know, just the drinking that occurs, which is, yeah. Flem Chen used to come, but I think the budget got a little out of control for us to be able to afford it.
I can put together a show, you know, because I know a lot of, again, Burning Man performers, like circus performers and people that do that, and people from Flamchan are interested in coming down, just not the organization. Like, I know those people too. So we could maybe have something like that, you know.
This is something that it definitely, there are people in this community that would be willing to donate as well. They tried to do that a few years ago. I think Fred Miller tried to, but it was just too late in the year. And I know that it's also something that I would go to the Bisbee Foundation with as well, because they maybe have some funding for that. And unfortunately, the Commission on the Arts they want events that have been going on for several years before they get funding, but there's a lot of funding for things like this, is my point.
Okay.
What I would do if I were you is I'd put together 2 different plans. One is like, oh my God, this would be the most incredible, this is like so cool, this is exactly what I want. And then one that was like, I'd be satisfied with this and it would still be cool. Well, just so you have some flexibility, right? Because it's a big job, but, and then when it comes to permit protocols, the lovely ladies of the city of Bisbee can always tell you who to talk to.
Miss Lorena.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Lorena
Lorena?
in Public Works.
In the past, they have, you still have to get a permit. If you get alcohol, it gets more complicated. And they have in the past waived fees for things for us, for some things, because we are essentially the city of Bisbee.
But you do have to put that you're requesting a waiver of fees on the permit so that when it's presented, we can put that on there.
But, so you can get that paperwork at any point. But I would say that the best thing to start with was, yeah, come up with two budgets. What, one would be amazing and one would be totally cool. And go from there. It's one of the, that would seem like one of those things where you could definitely build on it year after year and get it to the point where we have balloons again.
That's kind of the way I'd like to do things, is kind of, do something that's manageable, that's not gonna kill me.
You gotta start small.
And then build it up from there, figure it out. Because I've I've produced events before, but I haven't done anything maybe to this scale, or this is all new people for me to be dealing with a lot too, so.
It can be a whole lot of fun.
Oh, no, I'm looking forward to it, very excited about it.
The part I love is that City Park is underutilized. Yep. And it's an awesome space. I love City Park.
Is it hard to get permits for other events for City Park? Does
time.
it take money? Like, do they charge, like if let's say I wanted to have my band play on a Sunday afternoon there?
There'd be a little bit of a charge. There'd be a charge for the permit and charge for a license. So it just depends.
Right?
Yeah, and if you need electricity, there's a charge for that. There's a flat fee that they charge for that. But for the most part, it's reasonable. I've not seen anything that's been exorbitant for like a one-day event. The ones that get complicated are like Bisbee 1000 or Prowl or Pride and things like that's what gets complicated. But little ones, not so much.
And can my band just go play there?
You have to.
You have to have a permit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that answer either. I was like, well, maybe. I don't know. But I assume that you have to ask the city.
Yeah.
And
Because if you do
they have
that-
to get an employee there for
Yeah.
you. So that's what yeah.
That makes sense.
It's all locked
I
up.
was just wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you play there and somebody complains and the police ask you if you have a permit, then they can ask you to leave
Sure.
if there's complaints. So it's best that you just have a permit.
Yeah, then you have, right.
And then you have a right to use the park and then,
No, I think that's great. And that's something you really want to do. I would say to go ahead and call.
I'm not working tomorrow, but I work on Wednesday. I'll send you everything you need and everybody you need to talk to. I've made myself a note to do that for you.
But that would be amazing to have an event on New Year's again.
Yeah, and I want to talk to like Dana and business owners down there and find out what they would want. What does a cool event for them look like for that, and ways to include them, because I know that other events that they're not happy with the inclusion of the local businesses, or maybe they're getting their opinions on things, so.
Yeah, I think that there's some concern about having too many food trucks at events or something, so it's always about pushing people back into the businesses that are there, or at least asking those businesses first if they want to participate.
Yes.
Somebody did it really well. The Pirates, businesses were so happy with Pirates Weekend. But I think it's also because they didn't have a whole lot of other, it wasn't as huge as some of the other events.
But they had good communication.
But good communication, and if you wanted to put a group together outside of the Earth Commission to talk, there's plenty of people who would be interested in helping you.
Okay, yeah.
Like Dana and
Definitely.
Shayna or some of those.
I'm gonna meet with Dana this week.
Yeah, because New Year's it's highly sentimental in this community.
Yeah, I'm new, and I realize that, so I want to get, input by the people that have been here for a long time, and that maybe were involved in that event before and all that, so.
Like Ed and Rose.
Oh yeah, Ed and Rose. Do you know Ed and Rose?
I sent that to you, Ed and Rose, I sent the
Okay.
video to you in Facebook of
Ed the Clown?
Ed the Clown.
Oh, yeah.
They used to be really, they've participated a lot. If you need their contact, reach out to me too, I can give it to you. They're still doing the
Service
parades.
people,
Yeah.
yeah, with
Oh, cool.
video.
They do the
Back
giant
up.
turkey vulture puppets.
Oh, nice.
But part of the reason why they live here, and why actually I live here, is because a lot of, this sounds crazy, a lot of northern New Mexico circus people, I was not a circus person, circus people used to come down here for New Year's.
Okay.
And they were our friends,
Yeah.
and that brought a whole lot of artists down here.
Cool.
So it's something people really love.
Yeah, that's what I was I didn't know that about it, but that's what I was hoping for, is to bring artists down here, to not just, people looking to party, but bring people who wanna make art, or just artists to have make it an art community event.
Yeah, I think that's great. I would just start pricing out what you think it's gonna cost,
Yeah.
so we can start looking at that. The budgets talks are not until the middle of next year, but just so we can see, and if there's anybody else that can also give some money, or any organization. Because I have no doubt you can make it great, yeah. Any questions? Is that,
When you said art car world, did you mean, were you talking about Harris
Yeah. Just to have a local connection to that art car thing, I know we have like Kate, has got her cars, but, to not just bring a bunch of Burning Man people here or something, to have it like be involved
Yeah.
with
Local.
what's here, because we've got like an art car museum there.
That's
There's
right.
the Burning Man people might not even know about,
Mhm.
that.
Eva and John,
Yeah.
from the John Cole, because they're really into that sort of stuff too.
Yeah, I definitely will be including them.
Well, just let us know how, right now you're sort of in an exploratory mission, so anything that we can do to assist you, just let us know.
I will probably be a couple meetings, I have the border concert, and then when I get beyond that, I'll start to really.
Oh yeah, that's why it's so nice to have plenty of time.
Yeah.
If we were trying to do it for this year, we'd be careful.
No, I would
No.
not agree to that.
Any questions? Does that make sense to everybody? And obviously, if anybody on the commission wants to help or work with Kurt, probably would be happy to have your help. Sometimes navigating the bureaucracy of the forms and stuff can be a little confusing the first time. All right, I'm excited. That'd be great.
Too.
Item 6, discussion regarding fall art supply exchange. I just decided it's the last weekend in October.
You did.
Yeah, Tracy doesn't know either. She said she didn't have her book calendar made.
Last weekend's if it's on a Saturday, it's the 26th.
I'm pretty sure, because there's no record of it. It has disappeared for some reason, that record.
Yep.
Cindy couldn't find it
that
either.
little piece of paper that. had
I
all the
could
dates
not
on it.
find it at all.
Oh, I asked everybody.
Oh my
Asked
gosh.
Tracy.
When it was scheduled originally.
Oh, I probably have that on my
Oh, you
desk.
were-
12.
See, if you'd been here last one, we could not find it. So
Did we say
okay.
the 12th, you said?
The 12th is what I had in my calendar.
Then that's probably the right one. It just disappeared out of my life. So if it's the 12th, we will have a meeting before then. But this is the come to Jesus moment where,
Yeah.
so last time, there were most of us couldn't attend. And I got my family to help, which is very nice of them, but they're not gonna help this time because they're on tour. And so it's a big deal. It's not that much work if we all do it.
Yeah, it's up to the moving thing.
But it's just, we have to move a bunch of stuff. So the premise is that people bring us stuff to the park, we set up tables, and we facilitate the transfer of goods. The other part is that people give us stuff before that, we have to take that over from Central School usually. But it is, in my opinion, a very good PR move. People are stoked. There's so many little kids last time that were so excited about their crayons. I started feeling bad for the parents because they had so many crayons. But I think we had dozens and dozens of people.
Yeah, and the wind.
And that was the problem, the wind. Ginny Druckmann took off with a piece of paper, like an airplane. We were trying to.
That won't be a problem this year, I would say, in October.
But, so if it's on the 12th, are you interested in doing it?
I think I can help, yeah.
Do you think
I
you
can
can
help.
help us?
Yeah.
Because that's all it takes, is that we just all have to help. I can make a poster for it, because I have one that I used before. That'll be pretty easy. So what I'm looking for, we can outline, it's really simple. Next month, all we do is say, hey, I'll be at Central School in the morning to pick up the tables. Oh, cool. I'll watch it from 11 to 12. I'll be the person that comes and gets it and takes it somewhere else when we're done. So we can lay that out next time.
Yep.
But I just wanted to see if everybody was on board. It's actually it's really nice.
Yeah, because it's free and people get so excited.
And art
They're so
supplies,
happy. You mean I can take this? I can just have it? It's just really.
well, and we live in a
fun.
community where art supplies are not the priority for financially, you know, they're really expensive and we give away some nice stuff. You know, if you wanna get into pastels or painting or anything, it's an opportunity with easels, all kinds of stuff. Cause there seems to be, I don't know if we'll have as much, but the glory of COVID was that everybody got 10 hobbies and then they all quit them. So they have a lot of stuff. But what I would like to start doing now is start advertising that, hey, you guys, it's coming. Because people have been trying to give me stuff already. I don't like that. But so make a poster and then just know that we're all on the same page. And we give out brochures and talk people at the Arts Commission there.
Yeah.
So
Is it confirmed the 12th, or is it?
I'm gonna believe you.
Yeah, I believe it.
I just decided to believe you. Because it was either the 12th or
It couldn't be, I think that's a better date than the last.
it can't be the 19th, because that's their climb. So that's why we chose either before or after. One of them, Tracy, supposedly said yes to. Tracy doesn't know.
That's
So-
what, whenever I joined, I put in all the dates in
Yeah.
my calendar.
I
Well,
can
it's
look
better
at my
than-
calendar, I'm sure it's on my desk.
I think it's the 12th.
Let's just say it's
And
the
so
12th.
if it was the 12th, we're already in this calendar for the farmer's market, so let's just go for it. They give us a nice spot. We take like 8 tables. Did we have like 8? We had quite a few. Maybe 4 this time. But
We're in the middle.
it's very social. If you want to meet a whole lot of people in a very short period of time, that's the way to do it. So, cool, I'm glad everybody's on board.
Yep.
And with that said, I'm gonna go to item 7, which is part of this, is that I need a budget for flyers. Discussion and possible approval of a budget of $150 for flyers. Let me clarify that I always over budget, and we rarely ever use that much, but that's in case something happens. And a banner, which we've been talking about for a long time, an Arts Commission banner, a banner for the upcoming Fall Art Exchange. Do I have any questions about that? Does that sound okay? It's probably not gonna be anywhere near that, but just in case. Is there anything else that we need for that anybody can think of? Did we need anything
We
last time?
just advertising online too.
It's pretty bare bones, like it's pretty simple as events go. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being our festival,
Yeah, this
this
is
is the 1. So, all right,
Social media.
do I have a motion?
Yes.
You get to read the whole thing, that's
Oh,
why I showed
I
it there.
moved for the approval of the $150 budget for flyers and banner for the upcoming fall art exchange.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All ayes?
Aye.
Any nays? Thank you, guys. Yeah, I just have one I used last time, I'll just redo it, so it'll be quick. And then, yeah, it's super fun, it really is. Item 8, this one's fun, discussion regarding the impending departure of current Bisbee Arts Commission Chair Karen Schumacher.
You're not going anywhere. I'm the one who's gonna be leaving, and you're gonna be over here.
So theoretically, if I am in council, I go in December, I just want to make that clear. So what we need to do is a few things. I was thinking about stepping down as your chair, not the next meeting, but in November, and having you guys vote for a new chair. So you don't have to wait until I'm gone. And then I can be in the meeting just in case there's any questions. I mean, you don't need me, I'm trying to be helpful, yeah.
You're being helpful, that's helpful.
And, does that make sense? So you need a chair, think about that. When it comes up you will have to nominate someone and then vote. And you will also need another person on this committee. I think November is my last meeting, probably.
Yes.
Come
Because
hell
you'll
or high
have
water.
to resign right after that next week, because you'll be appointed the first meeting in December.
And then I'll be there, making faces at you, because I'm getting this commission, I think, this is the plan, and Buzzing out.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I just want to make sure, I like running meetings. One thing I think is damaging is that I do push them a little bit sometimes, and so I want to help to be able to see that you guys, to help make sure that you can do it on your own and you feel good about it. So if anybody has been dying to be a chair, or if Jenny wants to step up as the vice, she is the vice chair right now.
No, we'll just continue with your plan.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
The other thing that's coming up is, this is the one that bothers me more. I mean, it's a happy departure, but I know you guys are gonna be fine. The thing that is not okay is the cigar machine. So somebody has to run it, or we need to take it away.
Somebody has to run it.
And it's a lot, and I've been doing it for a couple of years, and Sharon did it for many, many years, and it's at the point where it's just sort of, it's been frustrating for the last few months anyway, because it has a jamming problem. It seems like it's okay right now. But it's something that someone has to do. The positive part of it is that you don't have to have a fundraising event then.
Yeah, that's right. It's an excellent source of all of our income.
It is an excellent source it's a steady and excellent source of income.
It's good community connection too.
Really. Can we pull how much money the Earth Commission has, so we can put that on the next agenda too, to show you?
What do you
guys-
mean?
Like
How much money the cigar machines made? Is that what you're asking?
No, how much, well, we have the budget, but also just how much we have in our coffers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got
Just
you
so you
now.
guys can see how much money you have, going forward.
Does it would it make sense possibly to hire somebody that is in that complex to maintain it?
No, it
No.
needs to be somebody from the Bisbee Arts Commission.
There's that, and then also, I was talking to Angela Rockefeller, who used to be on the commission, about this, and she said, well, we could hire somebody, and I said, well, you only make, you bring in about $1,000 a month.
Sure.
And then only half of that is this money at this commission. And so then you have somebody, I don't know what you would pay them, but it would be over $100 a month for the amount of work. You gotta meet the artist, you gotta pack the boxes, you have to fix the machine when it breaks, you have to take the money out, you have to file a payment, it's like, it adds up.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
I'm thinking more for like the jamming issues and things like that, where it's like the packing of the boxes and stuff, that's something that, is a set schedule versus like, you never know when it's gonna jam and somebody's gonna be upset kind of thing.
We could, theoretically, I don't know who that would be. I know Mel's not going to take that job, you know?
I don't-
We're just losing our income.
It really makes sense for somebody who's in Old Bisbee. It was a unique situation because Sharon Sutter is pretty retired, and it was her project, and she was obsessed with it, and so she was fine with doing it. With me, I run a business, so it's a little bit more like, I'm using my word hinky again, where it's like, oh, okay, now I have to go do this thing on top of all the other things I have to do. So the only real hope I see is that if someone can convince Sharon Sutter to take care of the machine again. Do you think
I
there's
haven't had
any?
any luck.
I know we've all been trying, because it was her baby, unless somebody wants to do it. Because it's a thing.
It's a job, so let's be honest.
It is a
It's
job.
job.
Yeah, and that's what it's been feeling very jobby to me lately, where I'm like, oh, this thing. But I'm so thankful.
What if
Or-
you do it in quarters, assign somebody to do it from January to March? And that
They
way
have to
that
learn it.
person, but then you teach that person in that last month. That way you all have knowledge of how to do it, and that way it's not just one person is what I was saying.
Yeah, that could work for me. I wouldn't take that on if I couldn't.
It
But
was-
like in the summer or something like that, then I have more time, then I could do it.
Right.
Or be helpful.
Make a schedule, who volunteers to do it
Like
for,
just during the school year. there's no way.
but rotate everybody in to learn how to do it, and then make a schedule of who will take care of that.
That's a good option.
Do you think that would work?
I mean, we can
It'd be
take
a little
in,
hard.
Just because of
yeah.
number of artists and.
I think at first it might be hard, but then once everybody kind of does
You know
it.
what it's
It's a
you know
good
what it's
idea.
really like.
Well, it's just, it's a lot of it's more communication than you think.
Right.
It's not, now that the artist handed off to you, that took out the socializing part of it, which was part of what Sharon enjoyed. But that was a lot of time, but it's still, I don't know, I have to think about if there's a way to break it down. I should just write out instructions and have you guys think about it. But there's also another option.
find someone who wants to run it and get them to join the Arts Commission.
There's a few people who are huge fans. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping. It's just, it would be you guys have a decision to make. Either we keep making money that way, or we make money new ways, which is kind of the old way, which is having
Which
art
takes a lot of
auctions.
time and a lot of planning.
Yeah, it does.
It's very difficult.
The art auctions and things, we made really good money one year, like $13,000, but it was a lot.
That's a lot of money.
It was a lot of work. It was fun. I mean, the bonus is it's good PR to have events. But I just want to reinstate it so that you guys can start thinking about it. It's going to be a real reality because I cannot be on the council and run that machine. I will lose it.
Yeah.
I'm already losing it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So think about it, and that's an option. I'll write out the instructions and see what we thought of next time, okay? Can we put it back on? Because it really is kind of the most, there's the
It's
most
a funding source, so it's just a huge thing that none of us have really had to think about, because since we've all been on,
it was Sharon.
it's been
I think
there
people
for
would
our
be
income.
disappointed.
Hmm?
Because a lot of times when they come into City Hall and they're looking at things, they're like, "Hey, we went to the cigar machine.
I
Can you
know.
believe what you got?"
People
So I
love-
think people would be
people love
sad
it.
if
Oh,
we
yeah,
took
they
it
love
away.
it.
There's I recently, I went to Chandler to an art gallery up there in the City Hall, and they have a cigar machine.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, they do. And they don't call it cigar. But I want to say two things. One, they're only charging $5. And I jammed the machine. I was very proud of that.
Wow, Sharon.
Well, because I'm constantly fixing the jams and it was retribution.
Well, maybe
So-
we need to call them and see who they use to fix or maintain their machine.
There was the guy who worked there, and he was like,
Oh.
"Oh, this thing, it always happens." And I was like, "I know, buddy." I was like, "I'm the only person you're gonna meet who's like, I feel you."
Yeah.
But it was just like, I thought it was funny.
It's funny.
Oh, that
It's
is.
a cool thing. So let's think. I just can't think of anybody other than Sharon.
I know.
But we will have to get on it relatively soon in making that decision. So the most important thing that this commission does is give out grants. That's the reason why we exist. Is that people come and ask us for money. The way that we raise that money is through that machine.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. It's,
If not, then you'll have to figure out how to do fundraisers to grab your money to do whatever you want to do and get the grants.
And we average how much income a year from the cigar machine?
about 500 a month or a little bit less. Sometimes a little bit more. Sometimes 6,000. Sometimes a little bit more.
Well, I think we were almost at 8. We took in $8,000
Mhm.
off the cigarette machine, I believe, for this last year, and gave back
So yeah.
about half of that, so about 4 to 8, depending on. Some years have been very takes off. Some months take off.
Right.
Some months don't take off.
Yeah, this summer's not been great, but I haven't looked at the final numbers. But this summer has just been slow in all regards. Those are the two things. Goodbye, hello, and what we do. So think about it. And I was going to talk to Sharon again. Does anybody have anything to add to my impending departure? Thank God.
Nobody has said that. They're very sad.
I know, I'm sad.
But I'm very excited to have you on council.
Yeah.
I'll be here to help you guys, okay?
You run the best meetings of anyone I have ever worked with.
Well, that's very nice. Not tonight.
No,
I'm
no,
really
it's
getting
not
chatty.
nice. It's true.
I think I took some steroids for my skin. I'm really chatty. So we're gonna move on. I think that is it. I'm very sensitive. Item 9, update discussion regarding the following. Sick art, that was kind of it. Social media. I saw you wrote a wonderful report.
Yeah, sent up the report. It's been kind of flat for August, and I'm kind of at a point where I'm pulling for content. So everything's scheduled for September, but we've run through all of the full list of cigar artists that I know of. And then I've looked, I forget the website, but it was in the email that I sent over that has all the gallery listings and stuff.
You get
So
to hear it.
with September, that gallery listing is through. like everybody's been posted once. I was thinking the public art stuff could be great, continual content kind of thing,
Endless.
like a did you know sort of thing. And so I think as that gets rolling, that could be a weekly feature. I know when probably like October is probably when things start picking back up in Bisbee as far as holiday season goes, so I'm sure we'll have more events. But if there is even, I don't know, like if anybody has ideas of like art culture or, featured artists outside of the cigar artists or, like
You
past
follow
grants.
galleries and stuff too, right?
Yeah.
The Artemisia.
Yeah, so they've been sending, Artemisia and then a couple other people have been sending messages through Instagram, and anytime I get those, I'll repost those. But also, yeah, like having, I guess, themed sort of posts are really helpful, just so, because usually I'll take like 3 or 4 hours at the first of the month and kind of schedule out, the meat of our posts for the month.
There will be more events coming, and also the other thing that would be good is following This Week in Bisbee.
Yep, I live on there
Okay.
too, yeah.
Then he also has a music festival coming up too.
Side point.
Aside from
He's got
the-
this music festival coming up at the Jungle.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
This Week in Bisbee Fest.
Yeah.
Twib. What? It's called Twib.
Yeah, it's sort of,
Yeah.
That's right. I'll send you stuff for the board.
something like Mia's recent opening,
That would be
that would have been a lovely thing to get in there.
It's just-
This is a very underground little,
Yeah. Did you go?
no,
I wanted to.
I wanted to.
Yeah, I'll send you, if I come up, Central School's gonna have a whole lot more going on too now.
And we've got a Day of the Dead altar installation, and that connects with the community, with the parade on the November 2nd.
Okay.
As
Yeah.
well, and I'll send you stuff on that if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. I think anything that y'all hear of that's coming up, because kind of the places that I've been pulling, there's a Bisbee events website that's kind of got stuff like 1 or 2 events a month. So like the Blues Fest I was able to post, and then there's something coming up I think next weekend. I forget what it is, but that's been scheduled. Or there's a architectural tour. I think that's what it was. Coming up. So anything like that I'll find in this week in Bisbee. But yeah, I think if anybody has like, I guess like local flair artists like that we can feature, I think the public art thing would be really great, just so we can I try and get at least like 3 posts a week kind of thing is ideal, I feel like. And I think mixing it up, because we have been doing the cigar machine artist and, the gallery of the week kind of stuff, and so we've kind of seen traffic sort of flatline.
So we need something else. It is that
Yeah.
time of year where much more is happening. I wanted to note one thing, was that the day that the city posted that Arizona Street was open again, and the hilarity ensued. The Arizona Street, because it was a rock street. The Arts Committee posted that there was a gallery at the building that burned down on Main 30. The address was 30 Main. And then hilarity ensued in that post, which I can't delete legally. So I went in and changed it, but just to double check the address, because there's a few hecklers, I could name them, who were like, that street, that building burned down, because Subway's not on Subway or Main Street, it's in the Gulch.
Got
So
it.
it said Subway 30 Main, and they had a party in a post at my expense.
Yeah, because I think that must have been what was online, because I'm like trying to pull stuff from
From Discover
Google
Bisbee.
and
I would just
Discover
double check
Bisbee.
the addresses once in a while, 'cause that's a rare one that it'll lead to something that absurd, where it was actually the burn.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they were just like, they couldn't handle it. But I went in and changed the address, but it was fine. It was just like one of those things where it was hilarious and also annoying. There's a few people who are my friends who will give us help. Yeah. Anything else about social media?
Yeah, like I said,
Send you
I don't-
the stuff, send you the goods.
Yeah, because has there been any updates to like the cigar machine artists, like any new
There
people
should be a
added?
couple, yeah, I'll send them to you.
That would be great.
I think that I fell off the world with the cigar machine.
You can give me some more. I've
I
also,
know, I gave them to
Yeah, no, they're great.
Yeah, but that never has been posted.
Oh, did we not post it? We had an email there, didn't we?
I think there was 4, I put them in the email, and there was
You
4
were in that
people
list.
I couldn't find social media for. And so I've been pulling images off of people's social media, and so that may be the reason why.
I can send you stuff if you want.
Oh, that'd
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah.
Because like Angela, like she was on that list, but all of her social media is the aerial yoga stuff.
So it was
It's
just
not-
it was just confusing. So that'll be another one. That'll be
Yeah,
good.
because there
I'll
was,
send it to
there was
Send him a link to your Instagram and your website and stuff.
Yeah, because there was 4 people in the report, the email that I sent over that are still on the list, but we have, I can't find photos or information.
There's some that, yeah, it's harder to find. Some people don't have those accounts either, but when you send it to them, that'd be great. We'll look at you up there.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Bulletin board, so we're good on social media?
yep, I think so.
Bulletin board, I fell down about a month ago and fractured my ribs, so I haven't done much of anything.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no. I slipped on water on the air conditioner, so I'm almost better. And then Public Works said they'd help me when the day comes. And the memorial bench, we're still waiting on. I just put it on there, just in case
Just
Tracy's
to
watching.
remember it.
Yeah, it's her project, so we're gonna give it back to her. As always, if there's something you really want to happen, you're that person to make it happen, so just let me know. When it comes to future agenda items, I think we have quite a few we're pulling back, so.
Yep.
So, yeah, item 10, future agenda items. We'll put the fall art supply exchange back on there and divvy that out, it won't take very long, okay? And then we'll put the New Year's back on, are you gonna be ready, or you wanna
We
wait?
do a couple, maybe not the next meeting, but.
So we'll wait for that one.
November.
And then we're gonna put, so art supply exchange, let me put the Sig Art machine as a major item back on there, okay?
Mhm.
And then, yeah, I think the rest of them. Camp Naco, you wanna do an update again?
Yeah,
That'd be great.
One thing that was on the original calendar, I don't know if this is still happening, was September 17th gallery owner meeting.
We just let it slide by, and you guys
Okay.
can do that again if you want to, and we can talk about what that is. It really was just an outreach, and we definitely can do it, we're not gonna do it this year, obviously, since it kinda slipped.
Got it.
But, we can put it back on and talk about it if that's something you guys are interested in. We did get them together and discuss things with them.
Did you get feedback from them?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And let's put the art back on, so Google, about the Google Doc and the public art. Does that all sound good?
Yeah.
Does everybody feel like they have something to do? That's what, it makes you feel good to have things to do, so with that, do I have a motion?
A motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, second?
Second.
All ayes?
Aye.
Good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.